The further apart expectations get from reality, the more room there is for anger to grow. And anger is how we feel in that moment when we don't get what we think we deserve, or we get something that we don't think we deserve, and we have that emotional reaction and we're angry about it, and we just don't understand why. If I just could spend 5 seconds with that person, then they would clearly understand and see it my way, right? I expected and it didn't happen, so I'm angry. And we don't know how to resolve it. We have unresolved anger. That's the number one killer of any relationship. And so we get in these moments when that feeling, and we know that feeling of anger, because of this and this are separated, where we have to make a decision. Are we going to respond or are we going to react? God is holy and perfect. He created you in his image. The problem is all of us are not perfect. We've sinned. We've marred that image. He has expectations that he's given in the Bible for the way that we should live. Because he's designed life to be lived as a full experience of who he is. And he knows, he's not up there as some sort of cosmic killjoy or ogre in the sky that wants to ruin a good time. No, he's like, hey, I've given you life and I've given you the description of how to have the full life. Those are my expectations for you. And none of us have met them. We've all sinned. There's this gap between God and us. And there's nothing you can do to fix that gap. You can't pay it off. You can't buy it out. You can't behave enough. You don't show up to church to close it. There's nothing you can do. You're like the tax collector right here, right? God, have mercy on me. There's nothing I can do. And yet, here's the good news. The gospel of Jesus Christ, the message that at our very worst, separated from God, he offered his very best in his son. And Jesus stepped out of eternity and into time in the form of a baby, lived a sinless, perfect life. That he met the expectations of God the Father. And that uniquely qualified him to take our punishment on the cross as a sacrifice in our place. Right? On the cross, Jesus satisfied the wrath of God. He took the punishment for our sin. So he resolved the anger of God for our sin so that I could experience the power of forgiveness in my life. And if he can do that for me, who am I to hold that from anybody else? And when I do, it's only killing me. This is the gift to us. The power of forgiveness to us from God. And we don't get it because we're born, and we don't get it because we show up to church. We get it when we choose in faith to surrender our life and follow Christ. And say, have mercy on me, God. I know I've offended you. I have not met expectation. And I need you, God, to help me close the gap. I can't close it on my own. I need your help. I want you to be the forgiver of my sin and the leader of my life. When you make that decision, you get the power source of the Holy Spirit that empowers you to do the same for others and to close the gap.